life known to humankind exists within a thin envelope of air and water that surrounds the Earth. It's called the biosphere. It is an incredibly complex, ever-evolving system of life.
Welcome, Biospherians, to the Biosphere II.
3-acre
Biosphere II.
Biosphere II.
entirely sealed rainforest, beach, coral reef, marsh, desert.
$200 million. 8 people go in. And what do? They make a lot of errors.
Tanker trucks with 31,000 pounds of liquid oxygen were sent to the site to pump it inside. So, what caused this massive failure of Biosphere 2.0 to create and maintain its own oxygen levels?
My CO2 fed the sweet potatoes that I was growing. And we ate an awful lot of sweet potatoes. And those sweet potatoes became part of me. In fact, we ate so many sweet potatoes, I became orange with sweet potato. I literally was eating the same carbon over and over again. I was eating myself in some strange sort of bizarre way. When it came to our atmosphere, however, it wasn't that much of a joke over the long term, because it turned out that we were losing oxygen, quite a lot of oxygen. And we knew that we were losing CO2, and so we were working like crazy to sequester carbon. Good Lord, we know that term now. We were growing plants like crazy. We were taking their biomass, storing them in the basement, growing plants, going around and around and around, trying to take all of that carbon out of the atmosphere. We were trying to stop carbon from going into the atmosphere. We stopped irrigating our soil as much as we could. We stopped tilling so that we could prevent greenhouse gases from going into the air. But our oxygen was going down faster than our CO2 was going up, which was quite unexpected, because we had seen them going in tandem in the test module. And it was like playing atomic hide and seek. We had lost 7 tons of oxygen and we had no clue where it was. And I tell you, when you lose a lot of oxygen, and our oxygen went down quite far, it went from 21% down to 14.2%. My goodness, do you feel dreadful? I mean, we were dragging ourselves around the biosphere.
Take for granted that the Earth will always be able to sustain us. But with more than 5 billion people using its resources, and with that human population growing dramatically, we all need to become aware of just how fragile nature really is. But Biosphere II is a model of life functioning in fine-tuned harmony. Perhaps if we all take the time to understand the complexities of our environment, Biosphere I, we too can create balance and harmony in the natural world.
Have a team of 8. The reason is because it breaks down into factions of 4 and 4, which are extremely stable. And that's exactly what we did.
You know, and it's really hard to describe to somebody what is that experience of living in an isolated environment. So part of the training is simply to deal with your personal baggage, so it doesn't become how you interact with your other crew members, right? So that was what you start to see happening, was you start projecting, you know, that's my sister, my brother, whatever, onto all these other, you know, and the interactions go crazy because you're carrying this stuff in your head.
life was just getting started on Earth, Earth was a pretty tough place for life. Now along come human beings, and we like to get at this storage, this coal and oil. It represents a lot of energy. We're rapidly pulling it out, putting carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere. We're putting nutrients back into the waters. We're making very major changes, changes that will make the Earth a different place from what it has been, or at least.
Given us this, the ability to look at the world from the outside. Now, we may not all have another biosphere that we can run to and compare it to this biosphere, but we can look at the world and try to understand where we are in its context.
But it begs the question, can we sustain ourselves in the future?
About 1 or 2 inches. I'm going to step off the limb. That's one small step for man.